like cheese and egg sandwich.
Yeah, that's good.
My name is Eva and I like to eat milkshake.
Milkshakes. Ooh, those are good.
My name is Helen. My favorite food is pasta.
Pasta. Yeah, I like pasta. Okay, so it's very nice to meet you. My favorite food, I think, is what do I like? Curry, gari.
Oh.
I really like, but not spicy. Spicy. I don't like spicy. Japanese curry. Yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah. Indian curry is too spicy. Too spicy. So, what this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, what did you do? What did you do this weekend? I went to, where did I go? I went to Xindian, to bye-bye, Xindian, and I went to paintball. You know, the paintballs, like paintballs, yeah. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, very sore. Oh, and very scary. Beside me. Ooh. But it was very fun, very good. And we had a barbecue, so it was good. I think it was in Dashi, so it was good. What did you do this weekend? What did you do? Saturday, Sunday, what did you do? Go biking, swimming, watch TV, sleep. Ooh. I also want to sleep. And you? Go shopping. Spend a lot of money. Did you buy the purse when you went shopping? Yeah. And you?
I go to Dongmen Station and eat ice cream.
Ooh.
And go to Tianmu to play.
To play. Okay. So a good weekend. And you? Oh, zoo. Okay. Did you see the panda? You know, the big panda bear? Cute. What else is there? They have tigers. Was there tigers? What's the tiger? How about elephant? They have elephants and monkeys and all sorts of things. But I've heard the most popular thing is panda. The panda. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And you?
Go to Taichung.
Taichung. Shopping. Very nice.
Go to Taichung 然后 Include family.
Okay, so visit family. Okay.
I went to sing karaoke with my friends.
Okay.
I go to the supermarket with my sister to buy some cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah. Then I sleep all day.
Sleep all day. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I sleep all day too.
And
Play some games.
Play some games. Video games.
Yeah, Wii or
Wii.
computer game.
My husband, he just bought the PS4. Yeah, so he's always.
I went to Guangguan and ride bicycle.
Ride a bicycle, yeah. I like. Have you ridden a bicycle from Xindian to Danshui?
Yes.
All the way?
Just one time.
Just one time.
Yes.
I did it once. Never again. Never again. Oh. I wanted to jump into the river. Oh, too hot. Especially in July. July, it's very, very hot. And the sun is so big. Oh, no. Okay, so today our lesson is survival. Do you know what survival is? Survival. So let's say you're hiking up a mountain and you fall and nobody knows where you are. You have to survive until someone can help you. So today our lesson is survival, and we'll play a game later. But first, if I can pass this around. So every share with a partner. So you share with a partner. So every 2 people have 1 paper, please. I think there's enough. Okay, so what does the title say? What does this say?
Men survive
16 months at sea. How long is 16 months? Over 1 year in the ocean. So this is on the news recently. Recently means about now. So I don't know if Taiwan had this on the news, but America did, and so did many other countries on the news. This man. So I will read first, and then the second time we'll all read. Okay?
Okay.
So, man survives 16 months at sea. Fish, birds, turtles, anything he could get hold of, he would kill with his bare hands. Jose told his rescuers he even drank turtle blood to stay alive during the 16 months he says he was adrift at sea. When his boat finally washed up at Eben Atoll on Thursday, halfway between Hawaii and Australia, he was emaciated and barely able to walk. Ola Feldstad, a Norwegian anthropology student who's doing research in the Marshall Islands, said Jose's fiberglass boat bore the signs of the harrowing 7,500-mile detour. We first found his boat, which was probably a 24-footer, engine broken, grown over with shells and other sea animals. And it had a live baby bird, a dead turtle, some turtle shells, fish leftovers, and it was in pretty bad condition. And there's tragedy in this tale. There were 2 people on the boat when it set off from Mexico to El Salvador in September 2012. But Jose said his companion had died several months earlier. Little is known about the circumstances, as so far he's had to draw pictures to communicate with people on the remote Pacific island because they can't understand Spanish. Locals have been nursing the long-haired, bearded stranger back to health, and Ola Feldstad says Jose's doing much better. He's gained a lot of strength. He's been eating a lot of food, fish, rice, fruit, and drinking coffee. He's in a lot better shape now. He's able to walk around by himself. He's cracking jokes. There are good reasons to be cheerful. Had he missed the Marshall Islands, it could have been another 1,000 or so miles before Jose would have had any hope of hitting land again. Okay, let's read one more time together, and then I'll explain the story, what happened. Okay, so let's read one sentence, one sentence, one sentence together. Fish, birds, turtles.
Fish, birds, turtles.
Anything he could get hold of,
Anything he could get hold of,
he would kill with his bare hands.
he would kill with his bare hands.
Jose told his rescuers
Jose told his rescuers.
he even drank turtle blood
He even drank turtle blood
to stay alive during the 16 months.
to stay alive during the 16 months.
He says he was adrift at sea.
He says he was adrift at sea.
When his boat finally washed up
When his boat finally washed up
at Ebon Atoll on Thursday,
at Ebon Atoll on Thursday,
halfway between Hawaii and Australia,
halfway between Hawaii and Australia,
he was emaciated
he was emaciated
and barely able to walk.
and barely able to walk.
Ola Feldstad,
Ola Feldstad,
a Norwegian anthropology student,
a Norwegian anthropology student. Anthropology.
Very good. Who's doing research
Who's doing research
in the Marshall Islands,
in the Marshall Islands,
said Jose's fiberglass boat
said Jose fiberglass boat,
bore the signs of the
bore the signs of the
harrowing 7,500
harrowing 7,500
mile detour.
mile detour.
We first found his boat,
We first found his boat,
which was probably a 24-footer,
which was probably a 24-footer,
engine broken,
engine broken,
grown over with shells,
run over with shells,
and other sea animals.
and other sea animals.
And it had a live baby bird,
a live baby bird,
a dead turtle,
a dead turtle,
some turtle shells,
some turtle shells,
fish leftovers,
fish leftovers,
and it was
and it was
in pretty bad condition.
in pretty bad condition.
And there's tragedy in this tale.
And there's tragedy in this tale.
There were two people
There were two people
on the boat
on the boat
when it set off
when it set off
from Mexico
from Mexico
to El Salvador.
to El Salvador
in September 2012.
in September 2012.
But Jose said
But Jose said
his companion had died
his companion had died
several months earlier.
several months earlier.
Little is known
Little is known
about the circumstances,
about the circumstances,
as so far
as so far
he's had to draw pictures
he has to draw pictures
to communicate with
to communicate with
people on the remote
people on the remote
Pacific island
Pacific island
because they can't
because they can't
understand Spanish.
understand Spanish.
Locals have been
Locals have been
nursing the long-haired,
nursing the long-haired,
bearded stranger
bearded stranger
back to health,
back to health,
and Ola Feldstad
and Olaf Felstead
says Jose is doing much better.
says Jose is doing much better.
He's gained a lot of strength.
He's gained a lot of strength.
He's been eating a lot of food.
He's been eating a lot of food.
Fish, rice, fruit,
Fish, rice, fruit,
and drinking coffee.
and drinking coffee.
He's in a lot better
He's in a lot better
shape now.
shape now.
He's able to walk
He is able to walk
around by himself.
around by himself.
He's cracking jokes.
He is cracking jokes.
There are good reasons
There are good reasons
to be cheerful.
to be cheerful.
Had he missed
Had he missed
the Marshall Islands,
the Marshall Islands,
it could have been
it could have been
another 1,000
another 1,000
or so miles before
or so miles before.
Jose would have had any
Jose would have had any
hope of hitting land again.
hope of hitting land again.
So what happened to him? What happened? He was on the ocean for 16 months. So let's look what it says in the first sentence. Fish, birds, turtles, anything he could get hold of, he would kill with his bare hands. Meaning he used his hands to kill anything. So he was on a small boat, like maybe this big, only this big, and anything that came near, he would grab and kill with his bare hands. He didn't have a knife. No knife, no anything. He used his hands. Ooh. And then they say he even drank turtle blood to stay alive. He drank, you know what a turtle is?
Yes.
He drank the blood so he could stay alive. Would you drink turtle blood?
Why not red? Why not red?
Red?
Red.
Oh, rain.
Red.
I don't know. Maybe it didn't rain. Maybe there was no rain. He drank turtle blood. Now, in Taiwan, you eat pig blood, right?
Yes.
You eat the, what's it called? The blood cake, right? With rice and pig blood, like this big. Yeah. So would you drink turtle blood?
No.
No. Ooh. Oh, I wouldn't. But maybe if you were really, really, really hungry, would you? Maybe. Ooh. So look here. They say adrift, to do you know what adrift means? What does adrift mean? Adrift means a boat like this is moving on the water. So here's the water and the boat is moving, but nobody can drive it. So his boat that he was in, there's no way to drive it. There's no steering wheel. So it was just moving on the water. So he was adrift on the ocean for 16 months because his boat wouldn't start. He couldn't drive it. Now, so he was originally here, here is Mexico. So he was here. So he was here. Do you know where Mexico? Mexico. So he was here, and somehow he ended up here at, if you look here, it says Ebon Atoll. It's an island, small island. Look here at this picture. Here, this picture, a small island like this. So if Mexico was here, he took his boat and drifted all the way over here for 16 months. And this news says if his boat hadn't landed here, if his boat hadn't stopped, he would keep going forever. Until maybe he probably would have died. I would. I would if it was that long. And so, they said when he got to the island, when he landed on the land, the people, there were some people, maybe, yeah, people. My drawing is great.
Cute.
So there were some people, and they saw he was very skinny, and they could see his bones, because he only ate birds, fish, turtles. It's not a lot of meat, and nothing else. So he was emaciated. Emaciated, if you look here, it says emaciated. That means very skinny and hungry, so hungry. If you think Africa, there are a lot of people there who are emaciated because there's nothing to eat. Nothing. So my mom, she always tells me if I don't eat everything, the people in Africa will be angry because they have nothing. So I have to eat everything on my plate. So because the people in Africa have nothing. So she says I should be thankful I have stuff I can eat. And let's see, Ola Feldstad, a Norwegian anthropology. What is Norwegian? Norway. Have you heard of Norway? It's a country. So the country is Norway, and because she is from Norway, she is Norwegian. What about anthropology? Anthropology. Have you heard of anthropology before? In college, you can study anthropology. It's a hard word. It's a very hard word. Anthropology is studying humans, culture, even a little history. So anthropology. Maybe if you're an anthropology student, you will go to Greece. Where's Greece? So maybe you will go to Greece and study ancient Greece. Ancient. Old Greece. and study what did they do back then. So that's anthropology. So Ola studied anthropology, and she saw this man. So she said his boat bore the signs of the harrowing 7,500-mile detour. So what does harrowing mean? Harrowing. Extremely frightening or upsetting. So harrowing. His experience, what happened to him, was frightening. Would you want to be stuck on a boat for 16 months? Oh. I think I would jump over. I wouldn't be able to do it. So she said inside the boat, there was a baby bird, alive, a little baby bird, little baby bird, about this big, still alive, in the boat. A dead turtle, so a dead turtle, and some turtle shells. So turtles on their back, they have the shell. So because he ate the turtles, they were in the boat. And fish leftovers. What are leftovers? Things you don't eat. So maybe like bones, like fish bones. So when he ate the fish, he didn't eat the bones. So the bones were the leftovers. And then they said there was tragedy. What is tragedy? Tragedy. It's very, very sad, very heartbreaking. In tragedy, usually somebody dies. So tragedy in this tale, because Jose, his friend, was with him in the boat. So there were two people. Let's see. There were two people in the boat, and one died. They said his friend died. So, very sad. And he is a very amazing person because he could live 16 months. So many people think he is very amazing. So, if you were in this situation, if your boat didn't run, if your boat, you couldn't drive it, and you were adrift at sea, what would you do?
Lie on the floor.
Jump over, lie dead,
Yeah.
let the sharks get you,
Eat my friend.
eat your friend. What would you do? It's hard to think of it. Run it over. Ooh.
Why not turtle?
Maybe find a mermaid or something.
Yeah.
What would you do if you had to survive? So let's say, like I said before, if you were on a mountain and you fell, and nobody could find you, nobody could see you, and you had nothing, what would you do to survive? What would you have to do? What do you need to survive? Jose, he had to eat, so don't we need food? So food. So we need food. What else do we need? Water. Anything else? What else do we need? Fire.
Safety place.
What is that called? Isn't that called a shelter? Shelter. So what we need is food, water, and shelter in order to survive. Jose, shelter? No. But food and water, yes. So he could still survive in that situation. So, what else? What could we use? What tools could we use? Maybe if we're in a forest. A forest, do you know what a forest is? Forest. Lots of trees. Lots of trees. Could you maybe, if you had an axe, do you know what an axe is? Like this, an axe. I know this is pretty small. Could you use that to cut down wood? And then you could build a fire using rocks. Do you know you can make a fire using rocks? Yeah. I can't. I've tried. Like, takes a long time. It's tough. So, you could use rocks. If you had an axe, you could use wood. There are many things you can use to survive, but you have to remember that you need food, you need water, and you need shelter, or you can't survive. One thing I know is that you can live 3 weeks without food. So no food for 3 weeks is okay. 3 weeks after, no, you will probably die. But your body, the human body, can live for 3 weeks without food, no food. And you can only live 3 days